Welcome back to a brand new edition of Local Focus with Sebastian Noel. I'm your host. We're right in the midst of basketball season, district play right around the corner, about to start, but thought I would take a step back and look back on the football season, which was a state championship football season at La Cueva. Want to talk to La Cueva's running back, Cheeto Lumbrera. Welcome to the program.
Nice to meet you, man.
And congratulations on a championship
Thank you,
season,
thank
right?
you.
I know that's
Yeah.
a big deal there at La Cueva, right? It is, honestly, at the beginning of every season, it's probably the only APS school that has a chance of beating Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
So how cool is that to lift the trophy at the end with your boys?
It was nice. Like, me and my friend, like, he's a senior, so I really looked up to him that whole time, and then just raising that trophy for him. And I was like, I told all the running backs, the seniors, I was like, don't worry, guys, I'll win you this game, and I'll bring that trophy to you guys, so don't even sweat it.
How big is that? I mean, you know that's the team you're going to have to go through for a state championship, right, Cleveland? So that's kind of what you thought, right, the whole year. I know you guys always talk about one game at a time and all that other nonsense, and I know Cam's really good at that. Coach Back's really good at that, one game at a time. But, I mean, the season starts, and it's everyone already talking La Cueva, Cleveland, La Cueva, Cleveland. It's got to be in your mind a little bit, right?
Yeah, after that first loss to Cleveland, all I could think about was just coming back to beat them, and once I got there, I knew I was ready to play against them, and I was a whole different person after that first loss.
And just take me to that post game. Obviously, the trophy celebration, all that. You know, what's that special moment with the guys where none of us are around? You're back in the locker room. You're celebrating. What's that moment like?
I don't know. I can't really explain it. It's just like you just really gotta like be there and have that moment, like because you see all these seniors who might not ever play the game again, and to get them to wear like a blue trophy and something that they can remember for the rest of their life, and see them like see people you don't usually see crying. You see them crying. It's kind of special because it means that like the game means that much to them.
I've talked to some guys that have explained it as almost as an outer body experience. They feel this rush of energy just leave their body after they win that game finally. And like you said, and then the emotion takes over. Is that an accurate description?
Yeah, I think after the game was over, like I jumped so high into one of my teammates' like arms because I was so happy, but I didn't even know I could jump that high. And then like my body feeling like all tingly because I won and I'm so excited and I couldn't wait to celebrate with my team.
The other part of that was it wasn't a close game. It was domination, right? So that's got to be pretty cool too, to be playing a game knowing that this isn't really a nail biter. Like we are whooping that ass. Like this game is in hand.
Yeah.
So you kind of, I mean, barring a miracle collapse, right? You kind of know, like, okay, we're going to do this, right? So take me through that mindset in the game when the game is a little bit out of hand.
I don't know. The game got like I don't know. Just throughout the whole entire game, I was just having fun. And then when the game gets close like that, you start getting emotional because all these thoughts come in, like you might lose or what are you gonna do when you win and stuff like that. But after we came out in the second half and we just like we started going and defense was clicking and the offense right away I scored. Like after that, I just knew that we were gonna win this.
Maybe a little scared before half when Cam goes down, right? And you don't know, like, is he all right? But then once you realize he's fine and he's leading the team back out on the field to start that second half, and then obviously you guys score, did you know at that point?
Yeah. When Cam started limping, like he started like barely touching the floor, I was like, oh crap, like this is gonna be really close. We're gonna have to put in our second string. And then I heard him yelling, and I was like, oh no, he just has cramps. And as soon as he gets back out there, we'll be ready, and it'll be that time to start like really clawing at them. And that's when you got to put the foot on the pedal and just keep going.
Was that the coldest game you ever played in? Tell me about that. I mean, a snow game. I mean, I got to the field, and it was about 2.5 hours before the game, and there was like 3 little kids with shovels. I was like, well, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
And then obviously they got the field cleared, so kudos to all those people that ended up showing up. But what was that? Was it the coldest you ever played in? And 2, what did you just think of that winter game?
Yeah, it was the coldest I've never seen like snow on the field before a game. But I kind of wanted them to keep it so I can have a snow game because I thought that would be pretty sick. But like when I went out there to warm up, I was like, it's too cold, so I threw on like a sweater, like 2 pairs of joggers, and then I went out there to warm up. But I kind of wish we did get a snow game because like that atmosphere that I look at in college, it like looks like it's like fun to play in. And then like when you celebrate, you get to hit a snow angel. That's what I was gonna do if they
Snow
didn't
Angel,
clear.
yeah.
They didn't clear the snow.
I knew it was cold because I've did some other La Cueva games that were pretty cold. And then, some of the La Cueva tough guys are out pregame without shirts, right? During those games. There was no one on the field without a shirt that day at Cleveland. And I was like, man, it must be cold.
Yeah, yeah. A few of our, I think like maybe 2 or 3 of our D linemen went out without a shirt, and then they came back in because it was so cold. But like their mindset, like that's intimidation. But me, I'm like, nah, I'd rather stay warm before the game than try to intimidate them. I'd rather just intimidate them with my speed and stuff.
As a running back, and you see those conditions and the cold day where you're like, all right, we're going to run the rock today. Like, were you pretty pumped about that?
Yeah, I was like, wow, we're really gonna start running today. Like I might get a lot of carries, like maybe over like 20 today. Like I'm excited to get the ball more,
And what's the difference for you on that cold day? Is the ball slicker and harder? Is that the only difference for the running back? Is it the footing also, or what's different for you in those conditions?
I didn't really see a difference in the footing, but like before the game, I was getting so nervous that the ball was gonna be slippery that like I think I caused that fumble in the first half because I thought the ball was gonna be so slippery, but it was like firm and soft and warm, and it was kind of like hard. But I'd say catching the ball is definitely a downside to it being cold because your hands are freezing, and then that hard ball comes in and it hurts your fingers.
Right. We'll take our first break. When we get back with Cheeto, talk some more about the championship season, find out where that name came from as well when we come back.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Back with La Cueva Bear, Cheeto Lumbrera. First things first, where did that name come from?
It came from when I was very little. When I first started playing football, I was like 5, 4 maybe, and I bring a bag of chips to our first football practice, and the coach was like, what are you eating? I was like, Cheetos. He's like, oh, okay, Cheeto. And he just kept calling me that, and then after a while, my dad started calling me that, and then when my next football season started, all the kids knew me on the team as Cheeto, so, it went to their parents, and then I was like, that's not a bad name, so I just started calling myself Cheeto, told other people my name was Cheeto, and then it just kind of stuck for a long time.
So now at school, like, are you writing Cheeto on the top of papers?
No, it hasn't. Like at school, I like for my teachers to call me my real name, which is
Okay.
Eliseo, but all my friends call me Cheeto. And now recently, my teachers just started calling me Cheeto, and it kind of feels weird, but I mean, it's kind of my name now, so I can't really
So
complain.
it's stuck even with the teachers?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. One last thing about the championship. I think the greatest thing was your social media post after the game. So I want to talk about that a little bit. You had a video of an old friend of mine, Adam Deal, was on a podcast with James Yotis, and Adam went on to, he gave his opinion where he said, well, Cheeto's not going to be able to run up the middle.
Yeah.
And I think his words were, that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And so obviously you used that as motivation, right? And then you clipped it together with your run right up the middle,
Yeah.
right? And so talk about that. When did you first see that podcast, and how did it motivate you?
The day it came out, my dad actually seen like the whole thing first, and then he called me into his room and he was like, "Take a look at this." So we were watching it. I was watching it, and then I seen the part, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna say like I had a good game and that I'm gonna do good next time." And then like when he said I'm not gonna run up the middle, I just turned to my dad and I was like, "I'm gonna run up the middle, and we're gonna edit this into my when I do run up the middle."
So if you haven't seen it, check out Cheeto's Twitter. Give him your handle.
It's a hot Cheeto underscore ABQ.
So if you haven't seen it, it is a hilarious video. It has that podcast. You guys did some nice editing with the vocals and everything.
Yeah.
And then it has the highlight of you just bursting right up the middle for a touchdown. It was really well done. I know Adam had a good time with it too, because I talked to him after the game, and he enjoyed it as well. He gave you your flowers as well, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But he was definitely a doubter, right? I gotta say, at the beginning of the season, I mean, I don't want to call myself a doubter, but I was kind of like, well, I don't know what they're going to do with both these guys here. Like, they hadn't really figured out your role.
Yeah.
They hadn't figured out Kobe's role, But then, and then we did so many La Cueva games. And I mean, to me, it just looked from the naked eye, from the broadcast booth, like you were getting faster and faster towards the end of the season. I don't know if that's just because you got more touches and I got to see more of you, or if it really did happen, but it just seemed like you were just getting faster and faster as the season went on. Did it feel like that to you, or?
So when Kobe first came in, they put him at slot, and then they tried him at running back, in which that really just motivated me to try harder. So I lifted heavier. I started running sprints like after school and stuff, and I was trying as hard as I can. And then the problem was at the beginning, I wasn't really used to being a running back because last year I was a slot. I never played running back. So it was kind of like weird to have to get used to the field and reading the blocks a lot. So I had to get used to that. And then like towards the middle of the season, when I started seeing the blocks, seeing the field, seeing the linebackers, and seeing the holes, I just used my speed to get out of there, and hit the holes as hard as I can.
When would you say, if you had to pinpoint it, when did you start to get real comfortable?
Probably during that Albuquerque High game, which is when I got my first longest touchdown. Because, usually when I get it, I, don't look for a cutback lane at all. I'm not looking over there. But that game, I just went over film, and I seen that the guys were crashing hard. So I was like, maybe if I hit the cutback lane and I just make the safety miss, I can score on that. And when I did it, I just kept doing that over and over again during the season because it kept opening up to me.
And then did you feel like you were just getting better every week? I mean, because that's what I saw.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that. After the Sandia game, I felt like I was way really good because, I just felt like I was reading the holes right. And then, my favorite running back, Deuce Vaughn, I just seen how, every time he'd hit the hole, he'd just take off, 100% speed to the safety or away from the safety. So I was like, I'm going to try that. So I started doing that, and I started, curving it a little bit to the end zone, and that started working for me.
As a team, you guys just went on this crazy run, right? The season starts, obviously, with the forfeit, and then you the Cleveland game we talked about, the Centennial game, and then you guys just start smashing teams. I mean, what's going through your mind week after week as you guys are just getting more and more momentum?
I don't know. It's just like building a relationship with my team is really what made us do that. And like our coaches were talk to us about like how we need to pick it up and how like if we want to win a championship, we need to start like playing as a team and not playing as like defense is good and then offense is good. And Cam really helped us out with that. Like his leadership skills, he like made us run more sprints, or he talked to us after the family dinners and stuff like that and told us that we can do it and we can win.
I'm glad you brought that up. Talk about Cam Dyer, the leader, a little bit. Not the football guy, not what we see on the field. Tell us about the things we don't see. Cam Dyer, the leader.
Oh, off the field, he's a great person and a really nice person to be around. He's funny when he needs to be, and he's super serious. And geez, I've never seen him like during Spanish last year. I would goof around, and he would with me. But then when like it came finals, he got so serious, and he was like the guy who knew everything and passed the test. And I was like, whoa, like who is this? You know. So
he's leading on the field, in the classroom, everywhere. That's him. He's the leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me I want to talk about that Centennial game a little bit, because that's one of those other games that's always circled, right? Mm-hmm. You guys go down there. It is over 100 degrees on the field.
Yeah.
Tough opponent, tough team. How much of the heat played a part in that game? And did you guys think you might see them again?
The heat played kind of a big part, but we had like wet towels, so like it wasn't really that hot, and you're kind of used to it sometimes in Albuquerque. But the turf, like it was burning my feet, like it hurt every time I stepped off the field, and I was like, maybe I should just take my cleats off like when the defense is out there and then put them back on when we go out. But we thought we were gonna see them again, and after their quarterback got hurt, there was some doubt around whether they were going to go up there with us again or not. And I guess that close game against Las Cruces, and I can see why it's close. Las Cruces is a very good team. And I guess that close game, they just needed that quarterback.
Right. We'll take another break here. When we get back, I want to talk about the rivalry game against El Dorado. That is the natural rivalry, although you guys have owned them for a while. Yeah. And maybe that rivalry means a little more to you because you have a sibling that goes to El Dorado. So we'll pick that up when we get back.
Yeah.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Back with state champ Cheeto Lumbrera. Does that ever get old?
No.
Now I
never.
see Cam at the basketball game, and I always say, "Hey, what's up, champ?" Right, and it always brings a smile to his face.
Yeah.
They're always going to call you champ moving forward. All right, we're doing a little thing called the top 5 list on this program. Top 5 things we do not know about Cheeto Lumbrera. Number 5.
I play a lot of video games. Like I'm like level like 120 in Fortnite. So I play a lot of video games.
Okay, I'm not a Fortnite guy, so level 120, is that really good?
Yeah, it kind
that
of means that like you don't really do anything outside of
Okay,
school.
that means you play too much.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So are you the best on the team, or
I don't know. Maybe
Who else
on
plays?
the team. Well, a lot of people play Fortnite. It's a pretty common game, but not a lot of people like play as much as I do. There's a few of our D linemen play, and recently everybody started playing because they brought back like a map everybody likes, so everybody started playing.
okay? All right, number 4.
I watch a lot of TV shows. I finished the whole Office series, the whole Brooklyn Nine-Nine series, and the whole Modern Family series.
Okay, all right. What are you on right now?
I don't know. I'm just rewatching shows right now.
What would you if you had to give me top 3 recommendations for shows of all time? What would be your top 3?
Definitely The Office and Modern Family, and then I'm just gonna give you my 3 favorite: the Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Office, and Modern Family, and Young Sheldon's also a pretty good one.
All right, I just finished one myself. Talk to your parents before you watch this one, but I just finished Shameless.
Oh yeah. I tried to get into that, but like after
It's so crazy.
yeah.
Like you don't think anyone's life could be that screwed up.
Yeah, I
right?
know.
So that's the one I just finished up. All right, number 3.
My favorite kind of dessert is brownies, and everybody thinks it's cookies, but brownies are my favorite type of food.
Are we going just straight-laced 100% fudge brownies, or is it like with pecans? Is it the ones with fancy icing? Like
No, just straight brownies. I
Okay.
don't like when like the nuts and stuff are in it
I
because
don't-
then
yeah,
it
just
doesn't
don't
taste
screw
as
up
good.
brownies.
Yeah,
Right? What about, are you Betty Crocker guy or the other brand?
yeah, I'd say Betty Crocker.
Yeah, okay. That's the original. That's the classic.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Number 2, things we don't know about Cheeto.
That my sister goes to El Dorado and
Okay.
I play at La Cueva.
So how's that?
It's a little crazy because my friends, I have friends over there and they like tell her like sometimes before like we play each other, they tell her that I'm gonna get like what is it, like hurt or beat up, and I'm like, okay.
Not against that defense.
Yeah. And then and then sometimes like I don't know. She wants me to go to all of her events, but I'm like, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna wear like my Leatherman, my La
course. Why
Cueva
would you
stuff.
not?
And she's like, oh, well then you can't go. And
Now
I'm
you
like,
can
okay,
wear your
well,
medal, right?
Yeah, flex on them.
Bring
yeah.
the trophy, right?
Yeah.
So, what does she play sports there, Delaware?
Yeah, she cheers for El Dorado.
Okay.
And it was kind of weird a couple weeks ago because I went to the cheer competition and I was sitting with a bunch of my La Cueva friends, and their like cheerleader girlfriends came over, and then my sister and her friends came over, and they started like sitting like next to each other. So it was like La Cueva cheerleader and then like my sister and her friend.
What year is your sister?
She's 24. Yeah, she's
Okay,
a senior.
so it's too bad she's. I was gonna say it would be a perfect bet if you guys found something to bet on, where if she won, you had to don the El Dorado colors,
Yeah.
right? Like an El Dorado football jersey. But if you won, then she would have to go in the La Cueva cheer jersey. Like that would have been a perfect bet.
Yeah.
Right?
We should have done that this year, actually, but I think it's because she knew that if we played them, she was going to lose the
Right?
bet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, we call that a rivalry, right? But La Cueva's dominated that series for quite a while, haven't they?
Yeah, it's like, after a while, it's like, can you even call it a rivalry anymore? Because we're just like beating the hell out of them every single year.
Now, basketball, I think, could be competitive. You never know,
Yeah.
right? Because El Dorado's got some dudes. Girls basketball, obviously, they got Bella. They got Bella buckets over there, so they
Yeah.
got a chance, right? So maybe those other sports could, but football has been pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
All right, what's the number one thing we don't know about you?
That all my favorite teams are purple, the color purple. So, like, when I first started playing football, I played for Monsanto. They're
Okay.
purple. My favorite college football team is TCU. They're purple.
Okay.
And my favorite NFL team is the Vikings, and they're purple.
All right. I
And
don't know how I feel about the Vikings part, but
What?
what else? Lakers? Purple? Their alternate jerseys are purple.
No.
No?
I'm actually not for
They're
NBA.
purple and gold,
though.
right?
I'm not for NBA.
Okay.
I'm a Celtics fan.
Oh, okay.
Because my mom's from Boston.
Okay.
So I have to be a Celtics fan.
So tell me about a little bit more about your family. You're one of 8, right?
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
Yeah. It kind of is, but at the same time, like, not really, because, like, my brothers and sisters, they graduated college, but they graduated high school, but they didn't really go anywhere after that. And me and my sister who goes to El Dorado are kind of like the first ones who are looking to like go to a college.
So that's super exciting, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure. So you got 7 siblings rooting for you at that point, right?
Yeah, basically.
But also, that means there's 8 people running around doing sports, doing cheer, doing all these things. I'm imagining, right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard
I
because
don't know how your dad has any hair left. Oh, I mean, he's got more hair than I do. So, I mean, that's a lot of bodies, or a lot of people in a lot of activities, doing a lot of things at school. Talk about that.
yeah, it's kind of rough because I don't have a car yet, so I can't really like drive around and drop my sister off and stuff. So I have to like either get a ride with one of my friends who always gives me a ride, or I have to call my mom and then wait like another like 5 to 10 minutes. So I kind of have to plan my schedule like according to like how fast they're gonna get there and stuff.
What's the brother-sister split in the family? How many brothers, how many sisters?
I have 3 brothers now. My parents just had another baby.
Okay.
So now I have another one. But my 2 older brothers, they live up in Oregon. No, I think he moved down to Las Cruces this year. And one of them's here in Albuquerque. And then I have, how many sisters do I have? I think I have 5. One's in elementary, one's in high school, the other one's in high school, and then one's here in Albuquerque, and then one lives in Tennessee.
What's Thanksgiving like?
It's kind of crazy. Like this year, I think we overmade food for a lot of people. We had because everybody comes over. My auntie and her kids come over, and then my grandma comes over, and then my uncles come over, and then my other grandma on my dad's side comes over. So, and then they bring pies on top of the pies we already bought. So it's kind of a lot, and it's kind of.
What's your go-to holiday pie?
Regular pumpkin pie. Good.
I think that's so gross.
What?
I don't know where pumpkin pie came from. I'm just I can do pecan and that's okay, but other than that, just give me all the normal ones: the apple, the cherry, the banana cream, the
Apple's
coconut
pretty
cream.
good with ice cream,
right?
I'll
But
get
yeah,
it with
the
ice
pumpkin,
cream.
I just don't get it. All right, so what are you doing for an encore? You got one more year in the tank, right?
I'm just gonna go to camps and grind out this off season harder than I did last season. Because I know that I'll have a starting spot. Last season I had to grind, but I was like, I'm not so sure. But this season I really got to prove myself to the people who put me on their second Metro team or their second place team. I really got to prove to them that I'm the number running back in the state.
Well, we'll be watching next year. Hopefully, we can have you back on the program. Good luck defending that state championship. You, Cam and company. You guys got a lot of dudes coming back on that team, right?
Yeah.
So definitely, has the R word, the repeat word, has it started being mentioned already?
Yeah, by a lot of people. But I just can't let that get to my head because I'm sure that's what Cleveland thought too this season.
Right.
And they're like, La Cueva's a all junior team. They're not gonna do it. And I'm pretty sure that's what they thought. And we came out here and we went out there and did it. So I can't say that we're not gonna do it.
Well, congratulations again. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for watching, everyone. And good night.